And The Flash, issue 798, is written by Jeremy Adams, with art by Fernando Pesserin, Claire Albert, and Will Robson, colors by Matt Erms, and letters by Rob Lee. And 799 is also written by Jeremy Adams, with art by Fernando Pesserin, Claire Albert, Wade Von Graubadger, and Tom Derenick, colors by Matt Erms and Peter Patazis, and letters by Rob Lee. And The Flash issue 798 begins with the long-awaited birth of Wally and Linda's new son, Wade, who we now know was the unnamed character throughout the 1 Minute War until the end. We also come to find out it was indeed Linda getting her powers through the pregnancy, and post-birth is back to normal. However, Wally is due back at Terrific Tech as they are getting ready to turn on the Hyper Time machine. While this goes on, an elderly nurse enters to take Wade for some tests, and it isn't until another nurse enters that Linda realizes her baby was kidnapped. She rushes out of her room and is caught in an explosion. Simultaneously, the hypertime experiment also goes awry. Shortly after, Wally is notified of the kidnapping, which is when Our Man enters, informing Wally he is going to assist in retrieving Wade from the clutches of Granny Goodness. Wally then takes time to prepare as he puts together a team consisting of Mr. Terrific, Our Man, Kid Flash, Metamorpho, Plastic Man, Phantom Girl, and Gold Beetle. Once ready, they take flight in Mr. Terrific's ship and quickly hit hyperspeed. And along the way, something hits their windshield. That something is Omega Bam Man. This leads us into issue 799, where Omega Bam Man joins the team on their quest as they exit hyperspeed, nearing Eternity Palace. However, they are attacked by a giant gorilla and robot, forcing the team to split into two, with Wally, Kid Flash, Mr. Terrific, and Our Man heading inside the palace, and everyone else battling the giants. Once in Granny Goodness's throne room, Wally demands his son back, but Granny Goodness refuses and unleashes her new bodyguards called the Furious, which are made up of superpowered kids. During the scuffle, Granny Goodness tries to flee, but Wally gives chase into the Forever Corridor, where Granny Goodness uses the Eternity Mind to stretch the corridor even further. Wally unleashes every ounce of energy he has and shows Granny Goodness why he's called the fastest man alive as he successfully rescues Wade. Granny Goodness, knowing the battle is lost, swears revenge, opens a boom tube, and escapes. Wally then regroups with the others who have defeated the Furious, and it's revealed that they are all kidnapped children, one of which is the thought-to-be deceased son of Mr. Terrific. They convince the kids to come with them and meet the rest of the team near the ship, who manage to defeat the giants. After boarding, Mr. Terrific says the ship can't use hyperspeed due to damage, and Wally responds that they'll get home no matter how long it takes. The story begins to wrap up with Wally and Wade returning home, Wally now having his rebirth costume and a full beard, telling everyone it's been a great adventure, and Linda coming out to embrace her husband and child. And that is the final sequential narrative in Jeremy Adams' Flash run. And I had a lot of fun with this two-parter because this book has many elements of enjoyment, such as the birth of Wade West. I mean, ever since it was announced that Linda was pregnant, I have been waiting for this moment. We got a really interesting journey of Flash and crew going to retrieve Wade, and of course, Wally once again showing us why he is the fastest man alive. I mean, in his time, the guy has ran to the end of time to escape death. He has ran faster than instant teleportation, and now effectively, he has ran faster than forever. At this point, I don't think we need any more proof that Wally is the fastest Flash alive. And on top of all of the heartfelt family stuff, as well as the really cool Wally being awesome moments, the story is chock full of some really hilarious moments, such as all of these Star Trek puns that Wally either says in his balloons or within the caption boxes. I mean, if I was in his position, I probably would have done the same thing. I mean, how many times am I ever going to be on a starship? And of course, let's not forget the return of easily the single greatest character to come out of Jeremy Adams' run, and that is Omega Bam Man, the intergalactic wrestler. I mean, whenever this character is on the page, you just feel the energy emitting off of the page. Also, yeah, it's some really good chemistry with Gold Beetle. I would like a spin-off, please. In fact, I would just like a spin-off of this entire team because it was an interesting team. It's just kind of the sad reality that because it was only a two-parter, we didn't get much like interaction and dialogue between all of these people. Because I'm sitting there in my brain thinking like, God, could you imagine just like Omega Bam Man and Plastic Man getting into a conversation just for starters? Flash Trek, to boldly go where no flashes have gone before. I mean, this two-parter just packed in so much interesting material that it was just impossible to flesh everything out. I mean, in a way, it read like this story was meant to be much bigger than it was. When you have things like the team element going on, you know, Mr. Terrific's backstory with his son, I feel like there was, you know, moments for some good story there. Linking that into, you know, the Furious, it's like, who do these other kids belong to? Are they like other superheroes that we know? Then of course the journey itself to retrieving Wade and then the return home. With the content provided, I think we could have had at the minimum at least 6 issues, because at the very end of this, it just sort of lacked that finality feel I was looking for. Like, instead of coming off of this feeling like I've just been on this huge galactic space adventure, I get the feeling that I'm missing a chunk of the story. Especially with lines like, "It's been an adventure," that Wally says to the crew. You know, that tells me that either we were maybe supposed to see it, or this is like a story Jeremy Adams was gonna tell had his Flash run continued. And with Jeremy Adams now done with the Flash, I am worried that we're never gonna get to see this portion of the story. But in the end, The Flash issues 798 and 799 is still a very fun two-parter. It entertained me throughout with fun characters, a compelling story, and in the end, I was glad to see the West family reunited. I just kind of wish Jay and Irie were also in the shot. And with that, I'm going to score both The Flash issue 798 and 799 in 8.5 out of 10. So The Flash issues 798 and 799. What did you think about these stories if you read them? I'd love to hear your thoughts. What did you think about Jeremy Adams' Flash run as a whole? Please leave your comments in the comment section below.
And if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with some friends, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and ring that notification bell for more comic book content. And if you're wondering what to watch next, consider one of these 2 videos. Alright, take care, have a great day, and as always, stay geeky.